To my peers who did not enroll in Dr. Benson's African American Literature class, you are asleep. It is so important to read on African American literature because it gives you a foundation and a framework. It gives you references as to why so many stereotypes still exist. Ethnic notions, for example, touches a lot on the stereotypes such as the Sambo or the Mandingo, things such as blackface and how it was portrayed so often in American entertainment. It became the only representation of black people. White people didn't necessarily have those type of interactions with, other black people. So these plays of whites in blackface, of blacks in blackface became their reality. And it went on for so long that the stereotypes just stuck, and pretty soon there was a double identity happening in black people who would just wear the mask, they grin and lies, as Dunbar would say, in an effort to keep the peace. You'd have white Americans portray blacks a certain way, and then they would revamp it as to where the meaning is not so up front in your face. For example, LeBron James being a beast references King Kong terrorizing the city, but you wouldn't know that if you did not read on the backstory of it. And, reading the backstories, reading the back poems, reading the literature, it gives you a completely new understanding. It helps keep the history alive. You can read on those stereotypes and see how they stayed alive due to the manipulation and the reoccurring motifs written and portrayed early on in American society. You know, we kind of just take things for what they are without even looking or thinking about an underlying message. You take it for face value and you think nothing else of it, but it's so important to know the history behind something instead of just taking it at that face value. Ignorance is not bliss, and you guys really should have taken this class because it helped me to better navigate through things that I would normally just accept just because, while scrolling on Twitter or Facebook, you can see what the message was intended to be. Even if that wasn't the message, you can see how other people would take that message because they do know the history behind it and they act accordingly. After taking this class, you just think differently. You look at the world differently. You look through it through the same two eyes, but you see it in a different light, which is a more brighter light. I plan on using this information past the semester in so many instances. It's crazy. I really enjoy debating. And so now I just have more arguments in my repertoire. I have more things to reference. I am in love with Du Bois' plan for progression. I'm in love with him. And I can take points from, his work of the souls of black folk, where he says that emancipation was key to a promised land of sweeter beauty, yet in the freedom land, the freed man has not found his freedom. And so in that, he goes on to say how uh, if you want the cutter line to be erased, you have to erase it yourself. And that just goes back to life. If you want something done, you have to go and do it yourself. No one's going to hand you that eraser. You have to go and take that eraser. You need to tell somebody. No, don't tell nobody. Tell yourself. You get up, pick up that eraser, and go make it happen. Because nothing is going to change if you don't put forth that work. And, Du Bois is really just the GOAT. Yeah.